She hit Caitlin Clark, and here's what happened. Now, this was a video that was recommended to me. Already has 12,000 views in a little over 2 hours by Players Unlimited. Please, if you're not already subscribed to them, go check out Players Unlimited on YouTube. They do have a Twitter account as well. This is them over here on YouTube. Got a couple Caitlin Clark videos. And then on Twitter, Players Unlimited. And they also have merch. That's just pretty nice. Confidence versus everybody. So go ahead, check out Players Unlimited. She hit Caitlin Clark in the head. Here's what happened after that. Let's take a look, folks. What are we getting into today?
Rivalries can get intense, but none quite like the electric clash between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. From college courts to the pro leagues, these two have been at it, turning every game into a headline. They've battled for titles and traded wins, and now they're facing off on professional courts. But nothing could prepare us for their latest clash in the pros. Imagine the tension, the history, the drama, and then a moment that shocked everyone. Reese hitting Clark right in the head during a game. What?
Well, who did it really shock? Let's be honest here. Who did that really surprise here? Didn't surprise me. Didn't surprise you. It might have surprised some people within the media, but I think some of us saw this coming from a mile away, especially after Kennedy Carter hip checked her the first game.
Happened next. Stay tuned as we dive deep into one of the WNBA's fiercest rivalries and reveal the
The only WNBA rivalry, buddy. Come on. The only WNBA rivalry.
aftermath of a moment that everyone will be talking about for years. As the Sky and Fever took the court, the stakes were high and all eyes were on Clark, the first overall pick, who didn't waste any moment proving her worth. From the opening tip, Clark was in control, weaving through defenders and sinking layups with a mix of grace and aggression. Her ability to take over the game was undeniable, stepping up to hit crucial shots. At one point, Aaliyah Boston set a masterful on-ball screen that gave Clark just the sliver of space needed.
Yeah, you see that screen? When Aaliyah Boston decides to use her body like that?
Aaliyah Boston.
When she decides to use her body and really clock these women at the top of the key, giving real space, giving real opportunity for Clark and Mitchell and whoever else to shoot the three, that's when this team is at its deadliest, when the screens are legitimate big bodies, not measly slip screens or some weak-ass screen. No, be legit, be strong, be stiff. In Aaliyah Boston's case, use your big caboose and set a nice screen.
Set a masterful on-ball screen that gave Clark just the sliver of space needed to nail her trademark shot.
Trademark shot? Off the screen for a three-point? Okay, I thought the step back was her trademark, but I hear you.
Precision in motion, and Clark was just getting started. By the end of the first quarter, she had already racked up 7 points, showcasing not only her sharp shooting skills, but also her dedication on the defensive end, disrupting plays and challenging shots. But Clark's influence stretched beyond just scoring. She became the playmaker, orchestrating the offense and...
Again, look at this.
Clark's influence...
Lexi, you get at least 3 of these opportunities a game. I would go as far as to say you get 5 opportunities of some nice wide open threes a game that you either need to shoot or need to drive, and you need to sink them like this, because recently your open opportunities have been bricks, right? The Where is Lexi whole campaign, that's because you used to hit wide open threes like this. Now you're you need to get back to that, Lexi. Come on.
Scoring. She became the playmaker, orchestrating the offense and setting up her teammates for success.
Imagine the amount of assists Caitlin Clark would have now if her teammates hit these wide open threes and didn't fumble layups.
Her court vision was on full display, finding open players and crafting opportunities that enhanced the Fever's offensive strategy. The intensity of the game escalated dramatically in the late third quarter as CC made a powerful drive toward the basket. But the play took a contentious turn when Angel Reese, known for her formidable presence inside, came up from behind. Swinging her arm in an attempt to block, Reese instead connected with Clark's head. The referees quickly intervened, signaling a personal foul. However, the situation grew more intense as they moved to review the play. Video replay left no room for doubt. What was first called a common foul was upgraded to a flagrant one. Given Reese's skill set, averaging 13 points.
And that was definitely a flagrant foul, just based on the rules alone. A hit to the head is a flagrant foul. Doesn't matter Who, what, when, or where. Hit in the head, flagrant foul. So let's be by the rules here, right? Let's be by the rules here.
5 rebounds per game and securing 13 in this game alone. It seemed unlikely she'd miss her mark so significantly, unless it was intentional. This incident, caught on camera and sparking debates across sports platforms, showed Reese's action not as a simple miscalculation, but as a deliberate move, cleverly disguised as an accidental collision. But despite the heated moment and the flagrant foul, Clark remained composed and determined. With the focus swiftly shifting back to the game, she stepped up to the line and coolly knocked down the
Yeah, you know what? I never actually realized this. To be honest with you, folks, when you block a shot, as you're hitting, look, as you're making contact with the ball, that's when you're saying, get that out of here, right? But Angel Reese doesn't even make contact with the ball, hits her head, and then after hitting her head says, weak ass shit, or whatever the hell she says. So that's kind of crazy, actually.
Line and coolly knocked down the 2 technical free throws, pushing the Fever ahead to a 65-62 lead as the third quarter neared its end. The altercation seemed to fuel Clark rather than falter her resolve. Far from being discouraged, she appeared even more determined to make her mark on the game. Using the incident as motivation, Clark unleashed an impressive offensive display, scoring 9 points in the closing 5 minutes of the quarter alone. Her response was nothing short of spectacular. Clark's relentless drive and competitive spirit were evident as she continued to lead her team, refusing to be overshadowed or intimidated by the rivalry with Reese.
Let's look at that again. I love this 2-man game between her and Boston. Look.
Continued to lead her team.
Look at Boston sealing Cardoso. That's what needs to happen. This is perfect, exactly what needs to happen.
Scoring 9 points in the closing 5 minutes of the quarter alone. Her response,
Caitlin Clark pushing the pace. Boom to hole, boom right back, and here's Aaliyah Boston making her way into the play, sealing Cardoso for an easy drive. That's easy money all game.
Rivalry with Reese. This determination not only showcased her skills, but also her ability to rise above adversity and maintain her poise under pressure. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, seemingly unfazed by the earlier controversy, continued to embody the antagonist in this unfolding drama. Her aggressive style of play didn't wane as she quickly racked up her 4th personal foul, momentarily sending her to the sideline. Despite this, Sky head coach Teresa Weatherspoon showed confidence in Reese, putting her back in at the start of the 4th quarter. However, Reese's aggressive tactics didn't let up, leading her to pick up her 5th foul early in the final quarter. This foul sent her back to the bench once again, where she watched as the game continued to unfold. Yet, with just over 5.5 minutes left on the clock, Reese re-entered the game. And Clark, amid criticisms of her defensive game during her rookie season in the WNBA, rose to the occasion in the critical moments of the match. As the game's clock dwindled, Marina Mabrey, Chicago Sky's leading scorer,
Marina Mabrey, it's a Jersey thing, otherwise I wouldn't correct you,
tried to utilize a screen from Camila Cardoso to lose Clark. In a display of her evolving defensive ability, Clark opted against the typical move of going under the screen.
Yes, Caitlin Clark's on-ball defense when it comes to blocking shots, highly underrated.
Instead, she aggressively fought over it, showcasing a significant improvement in her defensive skills. This decision paid off spectacularly. Clark managed not only to keep pace with Mabrey, but also executed a perfect block on what Mabrey thought would be an open 3-pointer. Clark's quick reflexes allowed her to seize the loose ball immediately after the block, pivoting from defense to offense seamlessly. She then executed a flawless pick and roll with teammate Aaliyah Boston, delivering a precise pocket pass that Boston converted into a layup. The climax of the game arrived in its final moments when Clark, with unyielding confidence, sank a clutch 3-pointer that extended the Fever's lead to 84.
That's the trademark Clark scream.
77, solidifying her role not just as a scorer, but as a decisive player in high-pressure situations. Clark received the basketball in motion, weaving around a screen set by Aaliyah Boston with precision. With no hesitation, she pulled up from deep, launching a shot that traced a perfect arc toward the basket. As the ball sailed through the air, Clark held her follow-through. The ball snapped through the net, and Clark's reaction was instantaneous and powerful. She turned to the audience, her roar of triumph melding with the roar of the crowd, a mutual celebration of her clutch performance. This clash against the Chicago Sky wasn't just another game for Clark or the Indiana Fever. It was a defining moment. Their 91-83 triumph not only...
This was the second game. Look at that, folks. Before Teresa Weatherspoon calls Chrissy Sides, hey, you're going to let us win this game, right? You're going to choke this 15-point lead, right? Look what happened the game before.
He had a fever.
Look at the cold way that Chrissy Size and Reese Witherspoon interact here.
It was a defining moment. Their 91-83 triumph not only marked
Christy, you were supposed to roll over and die. You better roll over next time.
their second consecutive victory over a regional adversary, but also secured their first back-to-back wins of the season, setting a new tone for their campaign. 22 was undeniably the cornerstone of this victory. In what many are calling the finest performance of her nascent WNBA career, she was a force to be reckoned with on the court, scoring a game-high 23 points, including pivotal three-pointers. Clark was everywhere, dishing out 9 assists, grabbing 8 rebounds, and even blocking 2 shots. This exceptional stat line is so rare that it places her among an elite group in WNBA history.
The amount of times that Caitlin Clark flirted with the triple-double before actually getting it is astounding within itself.
Indeed, Clark is the only rookie ever to achieve such numbers. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's post-game comments added another layer to the narrative. She openly voiced her frustrations with the game's officiating, particularly critiquing the decision to label her contact with Clark as a flagrant foul. Angel Reese, standing firmly by her actions despite the controversy, defended herself in the post-game interview, remarking,
"It's a basketball player. I can't control the refs. They affected the game obviously a lot tonight, so."
Replay poker.
Right? And that's I don't have a poker problem, I promise. And that's the thing with Angel Reese, right? That's why some people aren't too crazy and too keen on Angel Reese. When you're winning, it's all good. When you're losing, oh, I'm a victim. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. Oh, oh, blah, blah, blah. But when you're winning, it's you can't see me. And then when you're losing, it's hard for you to look the reporters in the face. You're going to answer with a little bit more attitude. They're watching for me too. It's everything in the kitchen sink.
assertiveness on the court, exemplified by the flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark, has firmly established her as a polarizing figure within the WNBA. Critics argue that her aggressive style may cross the line, detracting from team dynamics and the sport's integrity. However, her supporters commend her fierce competitiveness and her unyielded approach to high-stakes games, seeing her as embodying the spirit of a true competitor. On the flip side, Clark's performance in this game further solidified her reputation as a resilient athlete and one of the league's most promising talents. Her ability to remain composed under pressure and deliver when her team most needed her speaks volumes about her potential and leadership qualities. The game concluded with a score of 91-83, proof of the intense competition between the two teams. Clark's strategic play and timely
They do give us good games when they match up, I will say.
scoring proved crucial for the Fever's success, while Reese, despite her fouls, played a critical role for the Sky, showcasing her undeniable impact on the court. When Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court for the rematch against the Chicago Sky, anticipation was at an all-time high.
Folks, I said this last video, but look at this foul.
For the rematch against the Chicago.
She never gets this foul call. With people hitting her hand during her three-point motion, she never gets that foul call that happens at least 2 to 3 times per game. Either that or being in her landing space. Not only should that be a foul call, but what happens if that's a foul call? That's one less attempt that gets shown on the stat. Right? When you get fouled going to the rim, that doesn't count as a field goal attempt. It's a free throw attempt.
Sky, anticipation was at an all-time high.
That's an and one.
The stakes were evident from the start, with ticket prices soaring to record levels for a WNBA game.
Shout out to this guy. He found the one highlight of Christy Wallace making a bucket this game. Shout out to you, Players Unlimited.
Reflecting the intense interest in this burgeoning rivalry. Despite the Fever's previous victory, the Sky were not to be underestimated. But amidst this tense backdrop, Caitlin Clark shone brilliantly. Right from the whistle, she made her presence felt, opening the scoring with a smooth step-back three-pointer. Clark's dominance continued to dazzle throughout the first quarter. A perfect example came when Tiffany Mitchell found her unguarded. Without a moment's hesitation, Clark...
Dude, I'm a fan of your videos, bro. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. I'm going to have to check out the other one. Kelsey Mitchell. Marina Mabry.
Clark launched a deep three from way downtown, pushing the Fever
He's probably saying, Ben, fuck off. Fuck off, dude. I don't blame you.
ahead by a point. Her influence wasn't confined to scoring.
I have to, guys. We've been watching every damn one of these games. I have to correct it.
In the second quarter, her playmaking skills took center stage. Driving into a congested paint, Clark cleverly found Alana Smith wide open, who capitalized.
He's purposely doing this. He's purposely messing up their names. Now you're just purposely doing this, Players Unlimited. Alana Smith, come on. Come on. 0 for 3 here. He's got Caitlin Clark's name right though. That one we at least got. We got Caitlin Clark and the Aaliyah Boston screens right. We're good here.
With an easy layup.
Unless this is a AI reading a script. That's another possibility. But Tiffany wouldn't read Kelsey that way.
But Clark wasn't done yet. As the quarter neared its close, she spotted Courtney Wallace cutting along the baseline. A quick pass.
Dude, Courtney Wallace. Oh my God, Courtney Wallace, Tiffany Mitchell. Oh my God, Marina Mabry. Holy Mary and Joseph.
Pass from Clark enabled Wallace to execute a fake and make the layup, extending the Fever's lead
Courtney
by
Wallace,
3. As
Alana
the game
Smith.
progressed into the fourth quarter, Caitlin Clark's connection with Aaliyah Boston became a focal point of the
got those
Fever's
two
offense.
names right.
Their synergy was evident when Clark, after repositioning, received a precise pass from Boston. Setting a quick screen for her, Boston enabled Clark.
Right, that guy mentioned it on last video. Her coming off these left-hand screens, she's just pulling up. There's no gathering. There's no shuffling the feet. She's just catching it and letting it fly. So once that guy pointed it out, I've been noticing that on all these highlights. Not that I haven't noticed it before, but now that I'm like, oh, this is left. Another one from the left. Another one from the left, you know?
Clark to fire off yet another successful three-pointer, continuing the Fever's offensive onslaught. Clark's momentum seemed unstoppable. Early in the fourth, she launched another deep three, maintaining the Fever's scoring pressure.
You just can't help us. Oh,
And
that
she
was
didn't
another one
let
off the
up.
left.
Shortly after, Clark skillfully evaded her defender, creating just enough space to execute a flawless catch-and-shoot three from downtown, pushing the Fever to a 12-point lead. However, the Chicago Sky were not ready to concede. They clawed their way back into the game, erasing the deficit to tie the score at 82 with just 3 minutes remaining. As the clock ticked down, with the score knotted at 84, Angel Reese emerged as the clutch performer for
Cooked up
Chicago,
Melissa Smith
sinking a
all
critical
game.
go-ahead layup that ultimately secured the lead and the win for the Sky.
Cooked her up all game.
87.
Cooked her up all game. Now, I hope he shows us this coach interaction this time, because you'll see Teresa Witherspoon and Griff Christie sides a warm, old hug like, thanks for giving us this one. You owed it to us.
7. Despite the loss, Caitlin Clark's
Are we gonna see
performance
it?
was nothing short of stellar. She finished the game with a double-double.
See, look at him
A
hug. Look at him hug now, right? Look at him hug. Ah, thanks, Christy. We really needed that one. Appreciate you blowing the lead right there.
Seen 17 points and 13 assists. Notably, 7 of those assists were to Boston,
17 and 13. Come on.
who herself had an impressive 18 points. But amid this sporting drama, the WNBA finds itself at the heart of broader conversations, becoming a focal point for heated discussions and deeper societal narratives. From debates over the league's logistics, like charter
Christy, what you doing, Christy? Get your stuff together.
flights, to controversial decisions such as excluding Clark from Team USA for
Shame on you.
the Paris Olympics, each issue ignites passionate responses from fans and media alike, reflecting the sport's growing impact beyond the court. As the season unfolds, the burgeoning rivalry between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky, particularly spotlighting the dynamic between Clark and Reese, promises to keep fans riveted. Each game they play not only showcases their talents, but also stokes the flames of a must-watch rivalry, making each encounter an anticipated event in the WNBA calendar. However, the rivalry brings a compelling dynamic.
It's literally the only anticipated event. Well, excluding every other game Caitlin Clark plays. Caitlin Clark games are anticipated events. No other games are anticipated events across the entire league. It just so happens when Angel Reese plays Caitlin Clark, the anticipation is even elevated.
Dynamic to the WNBA, enhancing the sport's appeal and drawing wider attention. These two athletes, with their intense competition and undeniable skills, are poised to become leading ambassadors for the league. Their encounters add a bit of spice to the matchups, injecting excitement and anticipation into each game they play. While the surrounding narratives and debates can sometimes overshadow the games themselves, it's essential to remember the core of what makes these matchups so captivating: pure basketball. The discourse might get overwhelming with its frequency and intensity, but at its heart, the sport remains a straightforward contest of talent, strategy, and determination. The
Fair
intensity and physicality that Reese and
Fair enough. At the end of the day, it's about the basketball.
Clark bring to the court are reflections of what professional sports are all about: high stakes, deep passion, and the relentless.
But it's hard to keep it basketball when we're getting dirty play, cheap shots. It's hard to keep it basketball when we're getting politics interjected at every nook and cranny. Decision Nate Carrington.
Pursuit of excellence. As they continue to lead and inspire their teams, their matchups will undoubtedly remain key highlights of the WNBA season, captivating fans and showcasing the very best of women's basketball. Now, as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with all our latest content. Thanks for tuning in, and catch you on the next one.
Indeed, Players Unlimited, you will catch us on the next one. She snubbed Caitlin Clark from Team USA. Folks, we all know about the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. We all know how Game 1 unfolded. We had the Kennedy Carter cheap shot. We had the Angel Reese swing around, right? Game 2. Then we get the Angel Reese clip on the head. Game 3, we get Chrissy Sides blowing a 16-point lead on the road in Chicago, taking one for the woke team. I mean, it just is what it is. We've been here throughout the entire narrative of Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, people forcing this Rookie of the Year conversation upon us. We've been here through it all. Don't forget to give my guy Players Unlimited a subscribe on YouTube. Follow him on Twitter. His merch is pretty nice. I will say I did like those confidence versus everybody shirts. Take it easy. Have a good one. See you next time.